We are Gold Ivy, a health company dedicated to simplifying health and wellness. Tune in as we search to find the deep, real, and raw truth. We're here to talk big, no room for small talk. It is our mission to inspire, seek growth, simplify the action steps, and build confidence.
You decide what works for your daily life and how to transform our lessons into your gold. Are you ready to step into your power? Now is the time. Join us on the fearless pursuit of self-discovery and growth.
This is Ivy Unleashed,
a Gold Ivy production.
We're back.
We are back and it feels so good.
Welcome back. You are listening to Ivy Unleashed Season 2.
So exciting.
And Happy New Year, everyone. It is a new year. It's officially 2022. It's a new year to step into your power, the power to create the life of your dreams. And we couldn't be more excited to be back sharing our lessons, inspiring guests, and hearing more of your stories.
Yes, we're so excited because it can really go any direction. I mean, we have the power to create whatever messages we want to put into the world. It's a huge privilege and an honor. And we're just so grateful that you're joining us and so excited that we get to do season 2 in 2022. And we took some time off to really think about our lineup, to really think about who we wanted to have on our show. And luckily, we've created some really cool connections and we have some awesome people coming. So we'll jump into that later. But we also want to talk about business strategy, what we want to do as business owners. We wanted to reflect on our year one of Gold Ivy Health Co., which was such a beautiful year. And I'm so grateful that you're my business partner because it's been so much fun.
It's been a dream. Am I really in your what used to be dining room?
It's also been a ton of work and ups and downs and mistakes, and we're just excited to do it again. And we also want to share with you our personal growth. You know, the last few months have been, as our coach Catherine would call them, quantum leaps of personal growth and development. And that's what our show is all about. I mean, Ivy Unleashed is about self-discovery and growth, really diving into who you are, what do you actually want with your life. And I think I believed it before, but now it's a whole new level of I can create any reality I want. And it's so cool to know that you really do have the power, and to step into it in 2022 is pretty awesome to think about.
Yeah. And I think one thing I've learned that I'll always attest to is the power of connection, the power of vulnerability, and how when we're vulnerable, the people around us, the right people fall in our path, like Catherine. This work that we've been doing, you know, we started Ivy Unleashed with the mission to share our struggle in hopes that it would help someone else, right? And amidst starting that, it came into these things that we didn't even know we needed to work on, right? Like I started my healing journey. For you guys who are new to Ivy Unleashed Season 2, go back, listen to Season 1, all about healing the gut and my medical mystery that's not a mystery anymore. Super exciting. And while I started doing this work with a practitioner, I also did mindset work with Catherine to really complement the physical healing with the mental healing and actually believing that I could feel better. And it has been incredible. Like Andrea said, quantum leaps, right? Taking my mind, my power to this new level. Like we've just scratched the surface. And 26, I just turned 26 and I'm so excited.
Yeah. I can't believe you're 26 and already doing this work. I know I say this all the time, but it's such a gift that you're so aware of yourself, your health, your mental health, how it affects your physical health. And people go their lifetime not connecting the two. And they're so interconnected. And you know, on this podcast, we talk a lot about health and wellness. We, have on personal trainers, and I'm a personal trainer. We're health coaches. We talk about health. But in reality, mental health is everything.
And I think everything we talked about in Season 1 and will continue to in Season 2 and Season 3 and Season 4 is all going to tie back to mental health. Because if you don't believe that you can achieve something outside of where you already are, like there's no way. right? It starts from within, and it starts with having that coach, having someone to empower you and to help you believe. With Catherine, it was going back to our childhood trauma and rewiring that and rewiring our nervous system, which wasn't even a concept we were aware of before starting this podcast. Like, you have had incredible success, and mine has been a lot of healing and believing it and digging into like the self-sabotage and why I'm fighting the urge to rest when my body just needs to rest, and becoming okay with it and really believing that I deserve to be loved and I'm worthy of love and success and money by simply just being. And like, what a effing concept that is.
Yeah. What's wild too is when you get to the answers that do give you the quantum leap that we keep talking about, the leveling up, the becoming a better person, the growth, all the answers are so simple. You know, and the second that your mind is overcomplicating these feelings you have because someone said something or you're in this certain environment or something happened, it's like, it's your ego. Your ego is getting in the way of you being able to be at peace, to be at ease, to be loving, to be able to have those deep rooted connections with people. And like you said before, it's the vulnerability. It's what I've learned. One of the biggest things with Catherine is that why I love having a coach, why I love having her, I also have Kara as a coach too, is that when you talk with a therapist, a coach, a mentor, you are diving into your deepest desires, your deepest insecurities, the things you tell yourself and think about that nobody knows. And when you say them out loud, it takes away the power of it. Something that has made a world of difference for us and many people we know over this past year has been getting our groceries delivered right to our door. The ability to get local, fresh groceries without us having to step foot into a grocery store has been something we are so grateful for. Convenience, price, and quality are extremely important to us, and that's why we love and support Instacart. Instacart can deliver to your front door in as little as 1 hour. You can shop multiple stores, see deals in your area to help you save money, and every item is hand-selected by shoppers based on your preferences. To start your 14-day free trial and to get free delivery on your first order over $35, follow the link in the show notes to let Instacart know that we sent you and to help support the show. Instacart, never step foot in a grocery store ever again. So when I started with Catherine, I went all in because it's a big investment. It's money, it's time, and
it's energy. It's exhausting to dig that deep and to be vulnerable. Like, it's no easy work on either side of it. I think being a coach and being someone who's being coached, like, it takes wanting it.
Yes. Yeah. And when you're consistently checking in with someone and you're connecting to, you know, like, for example, for me, one thing I worked on, full disclosure, there's going to be a lot of TMI also on Ivy Unleashed season 2, is intimacy, you know, and for me, thinking about, you know, why do I struggle with it? Or why do I want this so bad to level up, you know? And it's, I want connection. I want a marriage that's incredible, and I want it to consistently grow and be something that's so nurturing for him and me. And to say it out loud that, you know, from outsider's perspective, you know, most relationships look awesome. But for me, it's like, I think there's always things we can work on, and I can never get enough connection. And so to really work on that and say, like, one of my fears is not having those intimate moments, not having the connection. And how can I remove any trust issues I have? How can I even figure out where this originated, right? And so I'm learning that if you think you're a victim of something that happened, or the way your parents were, or something that happened in your life, that's valid. It's valid that you feel what you feel, but you can take the power back by realizing that it's what you're saying to yourself over and over. How is it serving you to consistently be a victim? And how can you step into your power? How can you step into owning your life. Yes, that was terrible, or the way that I talked to myself up to this point didn't really serve me. Let's find a new strategy and let's let it go and move on, or shift the way that we think about it, or consistently have that support so that, if it is big T trauma, that you have the support because it's affecting your life every day. And so I think it's really getting to having that coach or that therapist or that support system. It could just be a friend too, that you're talking about what really matters, like the deep, deep, deep things that are on your mind and that you want to overcome or you want to level up. Like the more that you invest in yourself and connect to those things, you'll stay on track. Like you'll continue to challenge yourself in ways that it's uncomfortable and it's exhausting, but it's so worth it. I feel lighter. I feel freer. I'm running faster. Even like physically, things are happening to me that I just had a big weight on me, and it was all because of me.
These energy blocks that we put on ourselves. I think that's what I learned, and what Catherine gave me, what I continue to find in working with her and with Kara and with the beautiful people that we meet and get to speak with, is that we have the power to write our own stories, right? We can't choose what characters come in and out, how they affect us, but how we give meaning to those encounters, how we let them affect us moving forward. That's the power that we have. And to your point, whether it's big T, little T trauma, trauma is trauma, and it needs to be seen so that it doesn't have to be so scary, and it doesn't have to have that power, because at the end of the day, it is holding you back. And it takes some work to see that and to really believe that and to feel that. And these last 2 months, as we've taken a break from Ivy Unleashed, yes, we've talked about and discovered, who do we want on this podcast? Who do we want to share? Like, what stories? What do we want to talk about? What topics do we want to dive into? But also, like, we got to do some work on ourselves, right? Like, we got to walk the walk. We can't just talk the talk. And just everyone who's listening, know that it is the best investment you can make is in yourself. Hands down, 100%.
Yeah.
And not just your physical, but your mental health. And whatever it takes to fill you up and to feel that support. We wish this on everyone, to have this weight lifted off and to know that I have the power to write my own story, and that there is the light inside of you that is begging you to allow it to be shown for the rest of the world.
I think it's super hard to put in words the deep dive that we've done, because what happens is we have these coaching sessions, whether for me, sometimes it's Kara, sometimes it's Catherine, and then I'll Snapchat Brooke and I'll be like, I don't even know how to explain what just happened, but I went back to a memory from when I was 3 years old, and I realized this is how I started talking to myself. And so just, this is very challenging to put this all into words, because we've had 90-minute sessions every week or every other week for 4 months. And so I'm curious what your biggest takeaways have been, and if you can put it into words.
I can't. Andrew, I'll snap her trying to explain, and she'll be like, give me more. And I'm like, I literally can't. I'm still trying to process it. And I still am trying to process it, right? Like, that's why I found journaling so powerful. And I'm so grateful for you to continue to push me. Like, even when you don't feel like it, like, do it. You need to do it. You need to do it. But some of the biggest takeaways I learned, hands down, the biggest one was that I have everything I need within me. When I started working with Catherine, one of my main goals was trust, right? Like, trust my body. I spent 4 years advocating for myself, being told, no. And I got so confused with what the hell my body was trying to tell me. What were symptoms? Was this normal? Was everyone experiencing this? Was it my mental health, my physical health? I don't know. And so working with Catherine allowed me to see the importance of slowing down. Knowing that if I didn't slow down and calm my nervous system, I wouldn't know what the hell was going on. And reminding myself the importance of it. Right, getting back to these memories of when I was super little and not having to perform for love or work so hard for love and money, and that all these things were available to me if I just slowed down and believed, and knowing that what's meant to happen will happen because I have everything I need within me, right? Like, what it takes to have a successful business and to have a podcast. I can't say what is meant to come off my chest and out of my mouth and out of my head if I'm not calmed down and clear-headed, right? And so believing in my authenticity and who I am, not having judgment or comparison of the decisions I even made the day before, right? Not even thinking of comparison of other people, because obviously that happens, social media, and this game that I couldn't win, knowing that it's not a game.
So you're comparing yourself to your old self, or what do you mean?
All of it.
Yeah.
Right? So the decisions I made the day before, what I can constantly do to be better. Oh, I could have followed this protocol better, or do I need to get tested for mold? Like, do I do these things, right? And so questioning my every move instead of trusting that, hey, my body's trying to tell me something. This practitioner I'm working with is trying to tell me something.
I made this decision for a reason, and it's part of the path, and I am here because of that decision, and I'm trusting that it was the right one.
Exactly. Yeah.
You had everything you needed in that moment to make the decision that you made, right?
Yep. Exactly. See, it's hard to put in words.
It is hard.
Else. Yeah. But, and I got tested for mold, and I have 4 different types of mold. I have black mold living rent-free in me, like disgusting. But I knew it. Like, I knew that something deeply was wrong. And so just knowing that, and also trusting my body, right? I went 110 days sober, and I wouldn't have been able to do that without Catherine's help, without all the support from all of our listeners and our community. And I just learned being completely sober that I didn't have to run away. I didn't have to hide behind a vice, that I could speak my truth and own it and know that whatever was meant to happen, happened because it was true and right for me, not second guessing everything. So that was one of my biggest takeaways, was that trust in not only health related things, like what I was doing to take care of myself, but also in who I am, where I am. Like, imposter syndrome is huge. You guys are trusting us and giving you information and sharing our stories. And it's sometimes we're like, well, are we really doing this? But I think the more that we are vulnerable and we open up, everyone experiences that. And the more we talk about it, we unleash the power behind it of, this is scary and this is big, and no, it's normal, move on. Mm-hmm. So trust was a really, really big thing I learned from working with Catherine, and something that I'm going to carry with me. I think 2021 was the year of trust. Year 25 was all about trusting myself, that I'm right where I'm meant to be. And 26, I want it to be a year of love. Like, that's really my lesson is, okay, you got your trust back. Like, now let's love ourselves. Like, look at how far we've come. Look at how much work you're doing on yourself. Like, let's take all of that you're feeling in yourself and outpour it to everyone around you, because this is why you're doing this hard work, right? Like, there's the message in the mess is so that you can help others the way you're helping yourself, but knowing that I can't help others until I help myself. Mm-hmm. That's been super powerful.
Yes. And going on with that, the way that you're saying it, I love how you just said it, because it's so important to know that we all want to love other people. Mm-hmm. We want to feel loved. Love is everything. Mm-hmm. It's everything. It all comes back to it. It sounds so cheesy, but it's true. You start setting goals, or you start working with a coach or therapist, all you want to get is to a place of love with your kids, with your spouse, your partner, your friends, yourself, everything. Like, all you want is to feel loved. And this idea of pouring into yourself and loving yourself is so important, because you can only give out the love that you have in you. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the biggest things that I've learned. It's like this idea of this mirror or this reflection. So at any point now that I'm needing something like affirmation from Justin, or I'm needing more attention, or I'm needing whatever it may be from people.
Me texting you 24/7 isn't enough.
Right. But it's always something within me that's lacking. Yes. Right. It's always something in me that, like, if something's bothering me, it's because I need, like, if someone else is doing something that's bothering me, it's only resonating with me because I need it too, or I want to do that too, or I've done that in the past, or I'm seeing myself in it, or I want it. So it's a teacher. Anything that's negative or bothering you in your life, that's like that pestering something that you think about a lot, it's trying to tell you something.
Yes.
It's trying to tell you you need something or you need to address something. It's a reflection. Take it as a lesson. Anytime something pisses you off, it's for a reason, right?
Yes.
You have no patience. And so someone's making you so mad. You can think about how the reason why it's making me so mad is because I know I need to work on my patience. It's like,
use that trigger to be curious with yourself of what is this trying to teach me? What do I not have that I need?
Right. And the tricky part is the self-judgment piece of, I should have been more patient. I shoulda. Catherine's like, stop shoulding all over yourself. It's not that you need to feel worse about something you need. It's not that you need to feel worse about the judgment you're feeling of someone else. It happens, but it's to teach you something. And like you said, be curious about it and not make yourself feel worse that there's another flaw you have. You're consistently going to have different types of flaws. We all do. We all have things that we can improve on, but I think it's thinking of everything that flares up as a red flag or flares up that creates some emotion in you. Use it as a teacher, whether it's a positive one. It could be, oh, I love the way that she does that. Instead of, I should be a better mom like her, it's, wow, I should really tell her how great that is that she did that and maybe figure out how she learned how to do that or try and practice it in your own day-to-day with your kids,
I think jealousy, right? Like that's something big that when we see people doing certain things, whether it be with social media or personal training, like as we're building new exciting things for 2022, it's really easy to get in that comparison and that, but why am I jealous? Why am I feeling these things? Well, because this is something that I want to do. Like how cool is that this is then sending me a sign and I have everything I need to figure out what resources they use, how they do it. Like, if they can do it, why can't we?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with feeling jealous. Like you said, I think we can take any of these uncomfortable feelings and really just ask yourself, what is it about that that's making me feel this way? What is it that I admire about that person or thing or process that, do I feel inadequate? Like I wouldn't be able to do that. And why do I feel that way? What messaging have I received? What have I been telling myself? What have I not been doing that I'm curious about? Or trying not to be judgmental of yourself and being curious and knowing that there's always going to be things that spark jealousy or piss us off or make us sad. It's figuring out maybe I need a little bit more support or maybe I need to pause more and really just, instead of reacting, choosing to respond or
pausing and reflecting and learning what are the thoughts I'm even telling myself, right? And questioning those thoughts. Are they true? Do I really believe this? Again, it's the pausing, it's the slowing down, it's the not overcomplicating things and taking ownership.
Yeah. And I think something that I learned too with the ownership piece is that you can address things, you can change things, you can own things. And the more that you do that, you can flip it from something negative to positive. The more that you're capable of shifting your mindset at any moment, you truly are. Like if someone that you need to set boundaries with and you're having a challenging time with them or something, knowing that there's also something in me that I can shift. And if you can own that, like Catherine always says, like one person can change a relationship, truly can. And it comes down to loving yourself more. I got to tell you a funny thing. She had me do it too. Loving yourself more. And then it pours into others. It makes it easier to love on other people if you don't hate yourself so much.
Amen.
She literally had me go in the bathroom as many days in a row as I could do this, which it's been a few, but you stand in the mirror and you look yourself in the eye for 10 minutes over and over saying, I love you. I love you. I love you. It feels weird to say it right now, but when you're doing it, it's like you're looking at your soul. It's like, when do you actually take time to just stand and look without like putting on makeup or doing your hair or rushing around? And it's like you really see yourself. And as you're pouring your love into your soul, it's filling up. It's filling up with love, and then you're able to give more to others. It sounds wild, I know, but I'll try anything to have more cohesive relationships and to be a more loving person. I mean, who doesn't want to just be the person that people are like, oh, what a loving person. I love being around them.
Or like when you're full of love, like, what are you? You're happy. Who doesn't want to be happier?
And genuinely happy.
Right.
Not like people pleasing and like just running around to do everything for everybody else, and you're frantic and inside you're all bitter. Like, this is different. This is genuinely how you feel inside. And then it's just full honesty. And so this is something that I've been practicing now, is communicating honestly, taking time to communicate my needs, knowing it's not on other people to fulfill them. So I'm pausing, I'm getting curious. I'm thinking about what I need to shift in myself or address. And then sometimes you need someone to sort it out. It's like a foreign idea, and you want to make sure that people around you know how you're doing. Mm-hmm. But I've noticed with Justin really pausing, and instead of like spitting out what I need from him, thinking about what I need from myself first, trying to fill it up a bit, and then honestly communicating what my needs are. It just feels more easeful and loving and honest. Mm-hmm. And it's such a good feeling.
Thank you, Catherine.
Yes,
we love you. I'm so glad that I took the leap, the investment in myself to really focus on the mental health piece, right? The mindset, knowing that it was important, but now I really understand it. And I'm at this place where 2021 was all about, it was mental health, but a lot of it was physical health, right? Getting this protocol down, what I'm eating, what I'm doing as far as sauning and getting rid of the mold. And I feel like I know what I need to do. But I also recognize that if my head is not in the right space, like, I can't stick to this routine. It all starts with these practices I have that come down to my mental health. Being in a space of peace, calm, energy, so that I believe in my power. That's really what I created my 2022 goals around. So I decided that in 2022, every day I want to do two things. The first thing is meditate. I did it this past year. I didn't do it every day. And I know that I can, but more so I want to, right? I felt the benefits of it when I start my morning with quieting that outside noise, calming my nervous system. I'm unstoppable. And I feel so good. And I understand why I'm making the decisions I'm making to support my physical and mental health all day long. And so starting the day, not having any shame, not even shame, but just, I think there's still such a stigma around mental health. Meditating is so woo-woo. And I don't care what I look like, what people think, but like, if you're around me, I'm meditating in the morning.
And if you need research, because it's not woo-woo, it's scientific fact that it is really good for your health and well-being, physically and mentally.
Yeah, it's amazing. And so every day with Insight Timer, it tells me my streak. And so I'm going to do 365 days. And then to pair with that, I'm going to do what you did, gratitude. 3 things I'm grateful for, because as I'm doing this work, right, like we talked about, it's hard. It takes energy. And what I feel better is when I'm experiencing joy, when I'm happy, right? And so as I'm doing this work of my mental health, my physical health, like I want to be freaking happy. Like I want to be just beaming with joy and remember like how grateful I am, why I'm doing these things, that it's not a chore, it's a gift. And so 3 things I'm grateful for in my journal every day, along with meditating. And then the third thing is I want to run a race. So Andrea is going to run Austin, Texas, her marathon, her 22nd marathon, and I'm going to run it with her.
Yes.
I'm listening to my body, and part of it is telling me maybe just do a half. Maybe that's enough.
It's definitely enough.
To push your body.
Right.
While also allowing it to heal at the same time. Mm-hmm. And so I'm playing with that idea, whether it's a full, a half, I don't know. Part of me thinks that I go all in and then it's like, eek. and
every race, there's always like a veer off for the 13.1 versus.
Like, where's Brooke?
Where is she going?
In a ditch.
She's bellied up.
We also met, oh man, you guys, our guy, Yuri. We met this man when we were in Kentucky who was literally, Jesus put him in our path for a reason. He was a Justin Bieber lover. He was drinking tequila on the side of the race with his rooting on his friend while I was anxious trying to get this video of Andrea. And he shared out his stories with us. He ran the world's hardest race in the Sahara Desert. He does coffee enemas. Like, it was wild. He said something that really sticks with me as I think about this. He said, you don't have to run a marathon. You can walk every other minute. Like, you can do whatever you need to do. I mean, I want to finish it, so I'm going to need to run some. But just that change of perspective of I can complete it in my own way kind of takes that pressure off. So we'll see.
What's funny about his race, though, is he had camels chasing him. If the camels caught up to him, he got ejected from the race. There will be no camels coming to get you in Austin.
I might have Ian and Justin.
There is probably a 6-hour maximum, but
yeah. So we'll see.
That's exciting.
Goal is to run a race. As of now, it's a marathon, but I am weirdly, I don't want to say weirdly, but it's a new thing for me of listening to my body and knowing that if I run this race, I want to do it because I want to do it and I want to feel good doing it, as good as one can feel. So that's exciting, running a race. Oh, and the other one I didn't have on here that I really want to do, that's really important for me, is financial goal. So each week I want to check in with my finances and I want to save $50 a week, put it towards a high yield savings account.
Okay.
So I realized I always knew that money was such a big stressor. And so what do I have control over? What can I be okay with that doesn't add too much stress to the plate? And so it's checking in with my finances once a week and knowing I'm putting some money towards a high yield savings account.
Love it. It's going to be a great year for you.
I know. I'm 26. I got to be an adult now.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, when you were saying every day 365, I was like, ooh, because I
did that.
I just did that. And it's a challenging thing to commit to something every day. Like right now, it's like, of course I can. I can always set aside a little bit of time, but traveling or being sick or having people visit you can throw you off. And so I, in 2021, decided that I would do strength training for at least 10 minutes a day for 365 days. And I ended up missing about 2 days a month on average, which was funny because some months I got every single day and then some I missed like 6 in a row. It's just like when you're off, you're off. But it's challenging to commit to something every day. But it's so important, I think, to say, what could I make time for? What do I really want to make time for? What can I set aside some time for that I know will really help me level up? I mean, my body changed. Like, I've got a booty now more than I ever had before because I have been doing a lot of squats and I feel stronger. I haven't had any injuries, knock on wood. And so it was really cool to see, something that, strength training to me was never really that appealing because I love running. I love my time to be running because I love the endorphins and running's my jam. But it was cool to kind of go through that, I am going to do this every single day. I've really made this commitment. And then I had to report back to you guys too. So 2022, I just bought this whiteboard that I have in my office and it's almost like micro goals. It's a lot of like little ones that I want to do every day. And so it's strength training, the 10 minutes. But what I'm going to do this next year is I'm going to commit to 30 minutes of exercise and I'm going to go back to reading on the treadmill. Because in 2020, I read a book a week and I really missed that this past year because fitting in time for a book just without that goal,
it's tough.
It didn't happen as much. I probably read 10 books and I want to read more. So I'm going to walk on my treadmill again and read for like 15 minutes in the morning. So strength training and walking or running, meditation for at least 5 minutes.
Every day?
Every day.
Okay.
Then I have reading and reflection. So that'll kind of go into whether it's the treadmill time or it's off. And I've been journaling more. So that's thrown in with the reading and reflection. So it sounds like a lot, but it's...
Yeah, I'm like, you don't want to commit to something every day? Let's commit to 10 things every day.
Yeah, I want to work on my push-ups. So there's no like, I have to do push-ups every day, but it's like, I have really bad form with my push-ups and I want to build that up. And then I also have a financial goal of just looking at something financially every day, whether it's looking at my bank accounts, reading about something. I found some podcasts that are awesome. If it's journaling about it, if it's coming up with ideas for our business. And then I have a check mark to if I did my skincare the night before.
Love it.
So it's a lot. Oh, and water intake too. So it's nice because I just have this checklist. So,
and run 50 marathons.
well, so if I don't get to one of them, it's not like the end of the world, but I have my list of things that are a priority. So I see them every day. They're not going off that whiteboard. So it's just something different. They were so concrete the last couple of years. I'm going to try something different where there's a bunch of things. I don't always hit them, but I know they're important to me. And the majority of the mornings, I'm going to hit a bunch of them.
I like it. And then the challenger in you will want to hit all of them.
That's right. And I do feel better. I've been doing this for probably the past 2 months and I do feel a lot better.
Your face looks good.
Ooh.
Your skin looks real good.
Yes. Yes. I think it's the water too. The water helps a lot.
What? Oh, drinking
more water. Yeah. But yeah. And then for anybody that's new to Ivy Unleashed, I'm running a marathon in all 50 states. And so the past couple months I ran 2. I ran one in Colorado. That was 20. And Kentucky was 21 and Austin, Texas will be 22. So follow along if you want to see. Let me know if somebody wants to run one. I have gotten some messages from some people that might join Austin or thinking about joining a destination marathon with us, which would be super cool.
So fun. So fun. Ugh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love our community.
Yes, we're so excited for our community because we've been thinking about what we want to offer up besides the podcast. And so we have more inspiring stories for you coming with that. Also, we have events coming up, whether it's in person or virtual, that we're really excited about, and a beautiful online platform that's coming. We'll tell you more about that. So exciting.
Stay tuned. So exciting. So be sure you're following us on all social medias. We're posting teasers, posting how you can join in on all the fun. So that's at Gold Ivy Health Co. on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, all of the fun things.
All of them. Did you say TikTok?
TikTok.
And as you follow along with us, our mission really for you all is to feel empowered. Mm-hmm. We've been saying it, step into your power, but I can't express enough how important it is to pick a way to express what you want, what your deepest desires are, what your fears are, what your insecurities are. It's uncomfortable, but it makes you feel alive to connect to actually what's going on inside. And it doesn't have to be that scary. It can just be your journal. And then rip up the pages and set them on fire and throw them away if you don't want anybody to read it. But it's got to come out of you. And the more that you connect to it, the more your life feels like it's home, like it's meant for you to walk through it, for you to be doing what you know you want to be doing and talking to people the way that you want to be talking, expressing your emotions in a way, looking at your children, looking at your friends in the eyes and really seeing them and letting them see you for who you truly are instead of morphing with social media and morphing with who you're around. Who are you? And figure out how to really express that. If it's a therapist, a coach, a friend, a journal, your dog, I don't care who it is, but get it out of you and chase it. Find a way to gather tools. I know with us, we keep talking about Catherine and she's a unicorn and she's got a calendar that fills up. Maybe she's not your way to get the tools, but there's so many different ways to think about life and your mindset. Like, I just feel like most people have just scratched the surface of shifting the way that you think and your energy so that it levels up and it feels more at ease to move through life. It's not so challenging and hard. It can be a lot easier if you just really figure out a way to do that and gather tools, listen to podcasts, read books, figure out how to learn something new about how to make your life align more with your true core values.
Yeah, and we hope that by listening to Ivy Unleashed, by following us on socials, you feel empowered because there are so many different ways to do it, right? We started this podcast because there was a gap in the field. It shouldn't be this hard to talk about how hard it is, right? And also all of these pieces and aspects of wellness that we're missing, this mindset piece, this vulnerability piece in a way that you can resonate with. And you're like, yes, I feel that. Preach. And, at first I was so overwhelmed, right? Like, how do you know what to do? There's so many things to do and it's expensive and I don't even know what I'm feeling inside, but just start. What resonates with you, grab onto it. And so season 2 of Ivy Unleashed, we're going to be sharing stories of people who are talking about all different things that make them feel whole, that make them feel well, right? There is no one size fits all. If you haven't heard that enough in season 1, you're going to hear it again in season 2 because it is so true. What works for Andrea and I isn't going to be what works for you, but we're going to help you find it because we're finding it ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Our hope is there's always something you can grab in every single episode. And I just think life is too short to sit around feeling incapable. It's too short to be stuck. It's too short to sit around and blame people for your problems. Now's the time to do something about it. And the lineup is so exciting. We have authors, doctors, psychologists, entrepreneurs, personal trainers, you name it. We're finding them. And if there's anybody you're interested in hearing from or topics that you want to hear about, let us know. But I'm super excited for even just the first month is going to blow your mind with.
You guys, we are talking about anxiety, sexual health, inflammation, gut health, functional medicine,
inspiring stories,
all areas of wellness. There's something for everyone.
Yes. And these authors, these books we've read, we can't wait to share them with you. It's just so much fun.
Oh, magical.
Yes.
And if you're new here, we end every episode of Ivy Unleashed with our 3 segments. First segment is our 3 gold stars. Number 1, reflect on your greatest accomplishments and lessons of 2021. What are 3 things you're most proud of?
2, determine 3 main goals for 2022. 1 for your health, 1 for your relationships, and 1 for your career or passions.
And 3, pick a resource that will help you level up this year. A coach, books, podcasts, mentors, Ivy Unleashed podcasts, whatever you need to help you regain your power or to continue living it.
Woo! The next segment is called Unleashing Ivy. With guests, sometimes it's a surprise, sometimes it's not, but it's just random questions that we're curious about learning and really digging into Ivy. Ivy is the hard stuff. It's what makes you grow. And so we also grow from hearing people's responses. It's usually like the juicy questions that we just can't wait to hear from. So Brooke and I are going to ask each other 3 surprise questions right now.
What's the one thing you hope to experience more of in 2022?
I would say adventure.
Ooh.
I'm excited for more trips now that COVID.
With me?
Yeah, with you. Oh my gosh, that was so fun in
So
Kentucky.
fun.
Oh, we just laughed.
You guys,
the
that
whole
was
time.
our first trip together.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I would say adventure.
Solo trip.
Yeah, and it was kind of a random last minute. Like I wasn't signed up for the marathon until a few weeks prior, and you decided to come last minute, and I love that. I just think it's so fun. I want more adventure with my kids too, and take them on some trips.
Fine, they can have some of you too. Just kidding. I love that. To adventure.
Yes. What would you say your favorite part of being a business owner has been so far?
Ooh. I think the nights when I am all by myself and just looking back, right? Like they come at the times when I need them the most, when I'm feeling imposter syndrome. And it's almost like this intuition in me or this like nudge of like, just go look at everything you've accomplished in the last year, right? Like you did this with your favorite person. And like, it's so special to look back at what we're creating, knowing that it's true for us. And like at the end of the day, like we can do whatever we want as long as we're helping people. Like that's our mission and doing what feels right to us and knowing at our core and in our heart that we just want to serve and help. And it's beautiful.
It is.
Ugh, it feels so good. What is life? Okay, last question. Looking back to yourself a year ago, just created the idea of Gold Ivy. What would you tell yourself now, what you know?
I would tell myself, be confident when you are approaching people that feel like they're too qualified for you to speak to. They feel too big. They feel too far reaching. Like we have Dr. Rachel Allen coming on the show, and I almost didn't even email her. And her book has changed my life, and she's going to be recording in like a week. And so I think it's just knowing that you've got nothing to lose. Just go for it. If you want to hear from someone and learn from someone, it's just an email. And if they don't answer it, try them again in a couple months. You might just be busy, you know?
Yeah.
You know, and that remind myself that everybody wants to help. Everybody wants to share their message. They're writing the books and they are following their passions for a reason because they want people to hear their message. And so I'm just excited because the people that we're going to share with our listeners are going to change their lives too. And so I would just say, go for it. Be confident and just send the email.
And we wrap up every show with a piece of gold. Words are gold to us. And today's piece of gold comes from none other than
Brené Brown. She says, hope happens when we can set goals, have the tenacity and perseverance to pursue those goals, and believe in our own abilities to act. This is Gold Ivy signing off.
Listen to your truth and go chase your gold.